Today, we're gonna level up anybody with basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript skills to help tech teams and companies solve more problems and bigger problems, because that's how you create more value and help more people in this world. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to help you guys learn here, build those skills to help make the world a better place, right? We'll enable these teams to build twice as much, twice as fast, and become more data guided. And that is huge value to these tech companies, because complexity is the enemy of execution. And that's what a lot of these companies are struggling with. So with these skills, you'll get to the next level and you'll help these companies help more people. And we want to do that, right? In the last video, we set up our Figma design system. I found one of the best tools to quickly transfer your Figma design components into builder.io. I've tried all the AI ones. They don't always work as well. So you want to check out that video. Now, in that video, we did not talk about how to create custom dynamic regions. Let me show you what that looks like. So if we go to Builder, we set up simple drag and drop stuff. But when we want to set up a drag and drop like this DaisyUI swap, and we want one side to be any set of blocks and the other side to be any set of blocks, that's where we need these custom editable regions. So we're filling in the gap with DaisyUI with our design system, and that just enables you to have access to all of these extra components in addition to your design system. Huge value to companies that you're helping, okay? To do this, let's set up DaisyUI and Tailwind CSS. It's pretty straightforward, actually. So our Qwik front-end repo, if you're using that, you don't need to do that, okay? But if you are setting up your own Builder SDK with your front-end library of choice, whether it be mobile app, desktop, whatever, web app, websites, you'll want to set up Tailwind like this. This will initialize the Tailwind config file, and then you'll need to put in this content is actually really important, just some background. This tells Tailwind what files to look at and what CSS to populate related to the class names, because it's the class names that Tailwind enables to create experiences really easily. And heads up, the bigger the bundle, the slower the app loads, the less money you make. The smaller the bundle, the faster your app loads, the more money the business makes. That's what we're trying to do, right? So I set this up in our tech stack, which is using Qwik. The instructions are pretty straightforward. Same with the Daisy. Once you install Tailwind, you'll set up Daisy in the exact same way. All the instructions are here. Once you're all set up, you want to review the previous video, by the way, if you need help. Now let's go straight into building the swap component, because if we go to the swap component, the reason we'll also need to not only enable builder designers and editors to do whatever they want and help these teams build any experiences that they want, launch new features, run A/B tests, see data. Guys, this is huge. What is up, you guys? I hope you're enjoying the video. If you're looking to level up your tech stack, enabling builder.io with Qwik, or making your Figma components drag and drop into any tech stack, or even your design to development workflow, your design to code workflow, you're looking to break into tech, transform your tech team into a growth team, become data-driven, data-guided, whatever you need, do me a favor, go into the description, find my Instagram, send me a DM, I'll take care of you. Let's get back to the video. What we need to do is we need to enable these blocks. These blocks are needed because in Daisy, sometimes the CSS that's creating these interactions needs the HTML elements to be in specific spots, right? And depending on the front-end library you're using, and Builder will do this, it'll inject code in between and that'll mess everything up. So the solution around that is to use the custom components with dynamic editable regions. So if I go back here, you'll want to import the blocks line. We didn't use that in the last video. Now we're using it. And here are the blocks. It just takes 3 attributes. The parent will always be the builder block ID, which is the block that you're actually dragging and dropping in and registering. The component options is a string, by the way, that it takes the name of the custom input. So swap on, and in this example, swap off. That's the name right here, swap on, swap off. And the type is important, it's UI blocks. Ideally, you'll also want to set up a default value to be a basic box so that you can see actually right here, if I go to the builder drag and drop, you'll see that there's like this line right here. And that helps you understand that this is where this block is going, that's where that block is going. And we can see that's how it's working. It's really that simple, guys. And this can work for things like DaisyUI tabs. You'll want to use an implementation like this, but you won't need to do that all the time. So if I go set up the Daisy modal, we won't need to do that. Like I said about the content path for Tailwind, we do need to register the class names that we're going to use if we're going to avoid using the custom blocks and instead use the builder basic blocks. So if I go to builder, let's set up right now actually. Next, we'll need to grab that button. Let's put on top of the modal. And let's call this button open modal. Great. Now what's going to happen is we're going to go to the data tab, element events. We're going to do a new event. We're going to edit this action. We're going to add a custom code, just like Daisy said, which we'll do document.query selector, the ID, which was the ID, and then modal test. And then we're going to do .show modal, which is what Daisy told us to do, which is actually how the dialog HTML tag works. That comes native in the browser. Just like that. Now in the modal, we're going to add the box. We're going to call this the modal content. Don't forget, we need to clear the styles. So go to the style tab. We'll clear that out. Okay. Inside of the modal content, that's going to be called a modal box. Great. Next, we're going to add the content. We'll put that inside. And we'll call this I am modal. And then we needed to do the action. So I'm going to drag and drop inside of the modal content. We'll add the modal action. We'll go to the style. Again, CSS. If you're not seeing the CSS properties here, you want to go to desktop mode. We'll clear it. Advanced, we'll name it modal action. Great. And then inside we will grab forms that comes with builder as well. We didn't need to build this in. So the form goes inside the modal action, and then we're also going to clear out everything. Inside was a close button. That's what Daisy wanted us to do. Let's just put an X to make it look like it's closed. And then in the form, we're going to do custom, turn off the JavaScript, and the method needed to be dialog. Dialog. We don't need to validate anything. And you can tell what classes are right here. So we have just a close button, the form, which is just method dialog. This has the action, this is the content, and we set up the click. So now if I refresh it, we should have our modal, just like that, guys. And now that we've set up the modal and we did it all through Builder, we get more Builder abilities, like being able to repeat the element if we want to through the element data binding. We can go through that in another video. On top of that, we can just right-click the modal, select Save as Template, and just like that, you can convert all of that custom setup into a template. Other designers, marketers, product people, anyone can be in Builder and use what you've made, and you didn't need to start that development workflow. All right, so what do we walk through? We walk through how to set up Daisy and Tailwind. We set up a custom component with dynamic editable regions to enable more components to fill in the gaps of our Figma design system. By using blocks, this came from the Qwik SDK. This will work with any tech front-end framework that you use with the Builder SDK. This same system will work with Daisy tabs as an example. Then when we registered the design tokens, that allowed us to dynamically make these components from the DaisyUI library, like the modal, without having it be a custom component. These are the skills you need to help tech teams level up, deliver more value to their audience, and you just learned it. Guys, subscribe. There's a lot more to come. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck.